My name is Alex Bilodeau, and I'm here to give you a demonstration of my AI-powered trivia app. The goal of the app was to provide a new kind of trivia app where you can enter extremely specific trivia prompts, something like cartoons of the 90s, instead of using the standard history, science, pop culture, and geography categories. So let's dig into the features. The main use case of my application is obviously to answer trivia questions, but there are a few different ways you can go about doing that. There are a couple different game modes. There's a casual difficulty where you can keep getting things wrong, classic difficulty, which is your normal trivia, you answer, if you get it wrong, you move to the next question, or knockout difficulty, where you get one thing wrong and you get kicked out of the game. In the trivia lobby, there is a text input where you can enter any topic. The app then sends a request to ChatGPT to generate 6 trivia questions on the fly. This is the feature that is somewhat novel about the app and one that hopefully fulfills the innovation requirement. I made a spread here to show off the UI of the app. I specifically want to call out my little avatar guy. His name is Trifles. I generated him using DALL-E 2, which is image generation powered the same way that ChatGPT is, which seemed fitting to me for the project. He generally guides you throughout the app and gives you he gives you error messages, guidance, kind of what you're doing. I was aiming for a fun vibe without sacrificing legibility on the blue background. Hopefully this result satisfies the well-designed interface and multiple screen-based requirements. Data is being passed here. Data is being passed from the create lobby screen there to the lobby itself and then to the actual trivia screen and finally to the victory screen. On this screen, you can see the reporting feature. The app keeps track of all the questions that have been answered and generated by the API and stores them in Firebase. You can go to this screen to report questions as inaccurate or inappropriate, which will stop them from being shown to anyone else using the app. If you choose history, science, geography, or entertainment, all those categories that are not AI generated on the right, you get access to questions that are being pulled from the Open Trivia database. There's the link right there. My goal with this was to fulfill the network integration requirement and to provide a free tier for people who didn't want to spring for the AI-generated questions. More on that later. Essentially, the app pings the Open Trivia database API, grabs some questions, and then shuffles and returns them to the trivia view. I ran into an interesting obstacle here where the Open Trivia database has really niche subject breakdowns, so I kind of had to pair them all together under a relevant super category in an array and then pick randomly from that with multiple API calls. That was kind of an interesting side effect. The integration with ChatGPT for the dynamically generated trivia was my advanced platform integration requirement. The ChatGPT API is intended to be, strictly server-side. So to overcome that requirement and to obfuscate my API key, I went ahead and set up a Google Cloud function to handle the request. I ping that from within the app with an HTTP request, and it contacts OpenAI. I didn't have time to set up payments, and realistically, I don't have a good estimate for how much these queries will cost me in the long term. So I went ahead with the Expo deployment for family and friends and have let a few people use it. Once I've refined the application, it would make sense to see the average cost incurred per user and then determine app pricing based on that. I got a demo here. So just going to do a quick run through. This is the homepage. You can see me clicking through. I'm going to click entertainment and then swap it back over to AI generated just to show you the interface. I'm going to type in science fiction now to generate science fiction questions. This might be movies, books, whatever the AI thinks is relevant to science fiction. It's going to look like it generates really quickly. That's just video editing magic. It actually takes about 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Yeah, you can see it generates a couple of questions, which I'll clip through. Blade Runner looks like, Arrival, a bunch of science fiction movies, Alien. The answers are all correct. This didn't generate anything that was inaccurate. And you'll see the victory screen there. So I'm going to back out of here and go back to the report screen, top right. And as we scroll down, you can see the infinitely scrollable lists, and I can click a button to report a question, which will stop it from appearing in anybody else's games. So that kind of shows off all the core functionality of the app. I hope you guys liked it. It was really fun to build. and really thrilled with the AI functionality going on in this. So thanks for listening, and hope you all have a good one.